The last thing I'll talk to you about is everybody's worried about our Second Amendment freedoms. And I put a bill in to protect our Second Amendment freedom, the right, the right to own, keep, bear arms. It's being sort of dubbed the militia bill. Has any of y'all heard about it?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I crafted that bill and put it in. I don't particularly like the name militia bill because it kind of spooks people. Even some of the people who are really kind of conservative said, that kind of spooks people. I went to one person in the Senate and said, how about signing on to this bill? It's good. And they said, well, I'll vote for it. I don't want to sign on to it because the word militia. Well, I think that's just kind of being a pansy myself, but that's what it is, what it is. But what that bill says is our state already has an unorganized militia. I don't know if y'all knew it, but, and I didn't know it until I started researching, but we have three militias. We have the National Guard, we have the organized militia, which are those that are commissioned but are not in the National Guard, and then every other citizen in the state, male and female, over the age of 17 is in the unorganized militia. So what I did was I went in and crafted a bill that defined the armament of the militia, the weaponry that we could possess. And it was just everything that's legal now. The date on it is everything that's could be legally purchased as of December 31st, 2012. And I just picked that date around and it could have been yesterday. But in other words, so everything that you can legally go purchase now, handguns, shotguns, firearms, AR-15s, whatever you want, that's part of our weaponry. And it's regulated through, our state, our militia is, and it can't be touched by any entity outside the state. And I really kind of think that I stumbled on a good nugget, and I had somebody actually turn me on to Dr. Edwin Vieira, who's written several books on the Constitution. So I reached out to him and had several lengthy conversations with him, and I sent my bill up to him. And I said, look this over. I want it to mesh with our state constitution. I want it to mesh with the federal constitution. I want it to stand in supremacy clause. And he sent me back some language to add to it that he felt like would do that for us. So I just sort of did a strike and insert and put an amendment on the bill in subcommittee that used some of his language so that it achieves those three goals. But it is unconstitutional for the federal government to disarm the state militia. So if we can get this bill passed and codify in law that these weapons that can legally purchase now are our state's standing army's weaponry, then the federal government should not be able to touch them as far as confiscation or limiting or anything like that. Well, the bill exploded when it passed, and Senator, I want to give Senator Glenn Reese, who's a Democrat, I want to give him an attaboy. Maybe I keep telling him, Glenn, I'm going to pull you over to the light side, off the dark side. I keep telling him I'm going to bring him over. Now, he voted in favor of it in subcommittee. The subcommittee was Shane Martin, Danny Bird, and Glenn Reese. And Glenn, he owns a weapon, and the Second Amendment shouldn't be a partisan issue. So Glenn, I want to give Glenn Reese credit. He voted for it, and he, as much as told he would vote for it in full committee. So when it passed, though, I didn't realize how it's going to explode because I'm basically kind of a shy person. I don't, a lot of us senators drop a bill and they'll straighten their tie and they'll run out and get from the camera out in the lobby. I get kind of tickled with that. So I always take the tunnel in and down and avoid the lobby. But after that bill passed, the next morning, the bill made news from the Charleston Post and Courier all the way up to the Charlotte Observer. They were blogging about it on Sean Hannity's blog. They called me from Fox News, national radio. I was on there I had to be on with Alan Combs. But I thought, hey, if I can take a swing at that guy, why not? I went on the national radio show with Alan Combs and took a swing or two at him. He swung at me too. He wasn't kind enough to let me wish my wife happy Valentine's Day because it was on Valentine's Day about 10 o'clock that night. So anyway, we got that in the hopper. So y'all contact everybody you know and see if we can get that moving. Chip Campson is putting a bill that I think will be a good companion bill to it as far as, or he's crafting it as far as adding more teeth to the bill as far as the Second Amendment stuff. But anyway, We got those big things going, and I know I'm way over time now, but I'll take a few questions. Anybody's got any before I leave? But, help me with that. People listen to y'all. I'm one man in the Senate, and you know I believe in what we believe in, and I fight hard, but I'm one man. So, but people listen to the constituents, and you may know somebody in Charleston, or a group of people in Charleston. You may know somebody in Dorchester or Horry County that you can contact to push their legislators for this stuff. A lot of times, if somebody from Greenville sends an email to the legislator in Charleston, they'll say, he's not my constituent, illegal. But if you know people down there, you know, they listen, because I listen to my constituents. They put me in office, and they can take me out of office. So that's who I work for. So help me with that if y'all know any people. Yes, sir.
Tom, would your bill, that does sound a great idea, would it preserve existing law with the CWP provisions as they are now? Would it expand, I know there's some ideas of expanding to an area restaurants carry, and, you know, what, I'm trying to understand a little better. I know you'd help us, I'm just trying to understand a little more specifically what this bill would do for us in an everyday practical situation.
Okay, this bill, my bill would prevent any sort of government confiscation of your weapons from this day forward, and it would allow you to keep everything you got, or to purchase what was legally able to be purchased at the end of last year. Right. Now, it doesn't really address anything like restaurant carry and all. Those are being addressed by separate bills, which I'm in favor of. But no, my bill specific, I wanted to. You know, and that's what the media kept asking me. Well, did you do this in response to President Obama's speech or his executive order? I said, no. Mike Pitts and I, Mike served with me over in the House, and he's a true patriot. Mike Pitts and I have been working on this bill for a long time, because every few years some horrific event happens where a bunch of people are shot or something, so everybody wants to start taking away our Second Amendment rights, and they blame the gun. You know, and I I asked that little girl, I said, that reporter girl, I said, there's more accidents with cars every day, 1,000 times more accidents with cars, and nobody ever mentions not, you know, taking away cars. I said, your argument doesn't make any sense. But anyway.
If it were a death center, after would it be abortion?
Exactly. Yeah, if they're so concerned.
Would that count?
That's exactly right.
What's the number of that bill?
S-247.
What about ammunition?
It covers ammunition too. Yeah.
Utah is, somebody goes to be, they take away weapons in Utah.
They did.
90 days and stuff like that.
Yeah, I heard on the radio yesterday it was in Montana. And yeah, I think it was Montana. You can't always believe everything on the radio, so I did look it up. And it's not underway, it's just a bill that the Democrat dropped. So hopefully it won't see the light of day. But that just tells you what their mindset is. If it were up to them, they'd disarm us all.
So would it prevent the ATF coming in, a federal agency come in and confiscate my guns if they deem my AR-15 to be illegal under the federal ban? Absolutely. As much as I can buy, I can't find any more, but that's why I get some lowers. But anyway, would it prevent? Would this bill protect me from the ATF or federal agency?
It should, because you're a militia member. That is part of your defined weaponry under state law, and it's unconstitutional for them to disarm a militia.
It's not an ATF patient. That's a dead guy on my front porch.
Yes, ma'am.